And on that note, we're live. Alright, link sent to the Discord. Should be operational. Alright. Here we go. G'day ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Coleslaw Cup Season 2 finale. I'm joined in the commentary box by Will Ans. Hello Will.
G'day.
And I'm of course Elmer Jacko. And this is, as I said previously, the 15th and final round, deciding for the championship as well, of the Coleslaw Cup Season 2. And here we are here in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be a full grid of 20, I believe. And Yas Marina likely to be dry in both sessions. And ready to see who's going to be the Drivers' Champion in this season. It's a toss-up between Ryan Rods for Ferrari and Dace for Williams. No one else within a mathematical chance of catching up to either of them. And Ferrari have, of course, already won the Constructors' Championship. So, 18 minutes of qualifying, begin now. So, well, any predictions for this session, the race, and indeed the outcome of the championship?
I think the race is going to be wild, if that counts. Yeah, I mean, Dace should be the favourite for starting on pole. Of course, Ryan having to start at the back of the grid as well.
Yep, so to touch on that point, Will has mentioned that Ryan Rods will be starting at the back. That's because he has a grid penalty, a qualifying ban as it were, for the classic league racing offence of readying up too early last week on the grid. So no bonus point for Ryan Rods, at least. Dace may want to grab that point and reduce the deficit to 18. It's currently 19 points, splitting the two of them. The maximum number of points one can score per week in a non-sprint round is 32, I believe. 30 for the win, bonus point for fastest lap, for pole, and for the hardest charger. But getting both pole and the hardest charger is virtually impossible. So we're looking at probably 5th or 6th being what Dace needs Ryan to be at best. A top 4 seals it for Ryan. 5th with only 1 bonus point to Dace also seals it for Ryan. So Ryan's looking good, despite having to start pretty much likely 20th or maybe 19th, depending on what other people do in this session. He is leaving the pits, however. He's allowed to do this if he wants to go out just to make sure the setup's all correct, but he has to return to the pits without setting a lap time, basically. Sounds like there's some eating occurring over there, Will. What are you consuming?
I got those crispy M&Ms.
Nice. I was anticipating the final hot chocolate review at some point during this session.
I was hoping you'd forgotten because I can't find it.
No!
Find it. It's around here somewhere.
I was going to join you on the hot chocolate review campaign for this one, but there was a crippling lack of milk, so can't do that.
Huh. I've not had milk with a single one of the hot chocolates that I've had this season.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do those hot chocolate mixes come with like already powdered milk in them or something like that? Because mine don't.
Oh, they just taste like hot chocolate, innit?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Get shook.
Well, that is surprising. I think we've got a few people struggling already around turn 2, it would seem. Yeah, Ryan does return to the pits, so I wanted to make sure he's going to do that. But there is a Red Bull. I don't know which one. Cam Tizzle, maybe? Yeah, he was at his current location for a while. He's now recovered. It is a very easy track to make mistakes. It's a very slippery track since the updates to it for some reason. Let's jump on board with someone who I think is going to be putting in a good lap. Lanzy Paps, he's already halfway through. This new corner, which is a sweeping left-hander, very... well, it comes back on itself to say. He's whoa! What is that? Okay, we've got a disqualification. We've got someone blocking Lanzi for sure. That was blocking the pit lane for Texas Tornado. Means that Ryan will be starting 19th now at worst. Lanzi's going to complete that lap, but he was
furious.
Definitely blocked. 100% definitely blocked. No Jug, by the way, is on a 23.7. I believe this is his debut in Coleslaw Cup, and that is an impressive time, especially on the first lap of a qualifying session. Incredibly impressive, actually. Nicky also retires, struggling again with the same turn. We're going to jump on board with Scavney to see the carcass of the Aston Martin. He gets off to the left there at turn 2. Ryan makes his retirement as well. He'll be probably starting 18th at this rate. That's wide from Scavney, although he sort of recovers it on the exit. I think he's pulled out of the lap though. That was a very short shift. Have a look at Bursey. No, that's not. He's invalid. Okay, Dace is on that lap. I believe everyone else is either set their lap and going back to the pits or in the pits already, so we'll stay on board with the championship contender here. Williams driver, of course. Winner last week to reduce the margin to a point that he had a chance this week. 3 race wins. Canada, Austria and Brazil. On a hot streak of podiums as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row. However, prior to that, he only had 1 in the first 6 rounds, and that may really cost him, actually. Looking back, a few regrets there maybe from the start of the season for Dace. However, the Flying Fish has indeed been flying in these past few rounds. That looked like a left the session there. Not sure who that was. I wasn't fully paying attention. Alright, here we go. There's a very awkwardly placed Mercedes there, but out of the way for Dace. Into turn 1, not quite apex, but you don't really need to at that turn, as you stay flat through here. Tiniest lift through turns 2 and 3, actually only just 2, 3 was flat. Past the old chicane into this new braking zone. Not as tight as it used to be, sets you up for the long DRS straight though. In the race, it'll be interesting to see if everyone goes for a move on this straight or waits for the one that happens immediately after this next chicane. Frequently, if you are passed into this first braking zone with DRS, you're close enough to get the second helping on the next straight and retake that position. Don't really want to use the curbs here, but Dace does and doesn't lose traction as a result, so won't be too displeased with the line he took. He was that second DRS helping, and instead of going into the triple chicane of old, into this sweeping left, which can be quite bumpy on the exit, you can lose the rear and end up in the left-hand wall. Looks like Dace nailed it through there, and now into this braking zone, which is rarely but sometimes an overtaking opportunity, and now through these recambered left-handers under the hotel there. The one sector where high wings will help you, and final corner. Desperation moves maybe into that on the last lap if you're close enough, but it's a 23.7 from Dace, and he'll be displeased to be not on pole, but he's incredibly close, and with a couple more attempts he may be able to improve and grab that bonus point. Let's have a look at Kelly Robb, currently sitting in 17th without a lap time set. Temporary teammate, of course, to the championship leader. Ferrari don't need the points. Already secured that last round over Williams. Of course, Ferrari now double champions in the Coleslaw Cup, having won that last season. Other comparison to last season was that Drivers' Championship went to the last round. That was won by a Ferrari driver. We'll see if that repeats itself here as well. It does look very likely. Comes that sweeping left again, 5th gear. You'll see some drivers take it in 3rd, 4th, 5th even. Lots of variety through there. Doesn't look like Kelly's fully pushing here actually. Well, that can be just a, what's the word for it? Trick of the, I don't know, trick of the spectator mode. Yeah, okay.
Deception.
Yeah, deception. Yeah, it's not fast at all. So 28 there for Kelly, who we're used to seeing being very fast, a driver who's scored a couple of podiums so far in his Coleslaw Cup career. Electric Blade now jumps up to 3rd place. Shelley sitting there in 4th, Sharia in 5th. They'll be both pleased being in the top 5 at this point. Here comes Scabney. Scabney sitting 10th in the standings at the moment. Kind of a disappointing season, I would say, by his standards. Not a single podium. 4th place, his best result back in Spain. A driver that's been in championship contention in previous seasons, not in our Coleslaw Cup, but certainly elsewhere. Would expect to have seen more from him. Ah, there's Dusty rejoining, so he must have been the driver I saw disconnect. Anything jumping out to you so far, Will, this session?
What did jump out at me was the style of my hot chocolate, which I've now found.
Ah, very good.
Pairing. It would be so funny if No Jump joined the league and then beat Des in his first race. Can't say it's the championship.
Yeah, it
So
stops him from winning the championship. That would be quite interesting. I think that there's a theory to say that Dace needs fast drivers in this lobby to make sure that Ryan doesn't come up high enough to get in the point window. But he also needs those fast drivers not to beat Dace himself. So, yeah. That'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I think Bursey has jumped up in the meantime, as has Slayer. We missed that, unfortunately. Slayer having a good run of recent form. Let's have a look at Red Eye, who had that amazing podium a couple of weeks ago in Suzuka. I don't think this is a particularly good lap. We might as well follow it to the finish line. There goes No Jug with a 23.4. Very impressive time. In fact, Red Eye's going to jump into the pits here. Kelly seems to be on an attack lap as well. Yeah, No Jug's got some serious pace. My personal best around here is in the 23s as well, but not quite a 23.4. So No Jug certainly on it around here. And Kelly pull heels into the pits as well. I'm not picking the right drivers to look at here. Let's check out Army, who's got an Alpha Tauri directly in front of him, which will not help. Unless he picks up a big slipstream, but I think he's too close to benefit from this. In fact, that car is harvesting, so surely it pulls off. Indeed it does. So my most recent race around this track was actually on the weekend, and a 23.2 I think was pole. So we'll see if anyone can beat that. Certainly wasn't my lap time that got that. I was only second on the grid. But for now, No Jug the only one close to that. Dace also in the 23s. No one else yet beneath the 24 mark. Army was 14th with that lap time. Knuckles on a 38 currently needs to beat that. He's 9.3 seconds up. We'll follow this to the end of the lap. Third gear under the hotel there. I think fourth gear would probably be preferable as he goes very close to the wall. Has to sort of moderate the throttle, and that'll be possibly invalid. No, he stays valid, but certainly had to lift to avoid that penalty there. And 15th place, 13th place for Knuckles, as he just eclipses his teammate Peter there. Here comes Cam Tizzle. Where does he go across the line? Goes to 4th place. A great effort there from Cam with a first lap of his session. Will probably have time to get back to the pits and come out for one more lap, but he'll have to push on his way back to the pits, that's for sure.
Vroom intensifies, maybe with some Burr in there as well.
Indeed, and I should mention that Dace has improved also to a 23.4, but once again, just hundredths behind No Jug. He really needs to find, again, well, some hundredths and grab that bonus point. Electric Blade is 1/10 up in the first sector on his own time. If he can continue that momentum, he will see himself into the 23s by the end of the lap, but probably still third. There is a large margin between second and third currently, about 3/4 of a second. It's tidy though. Blade with a good line through the chicane there, opens the DRS for the second time of the lap. Hugs the left, it's the shortest way to make it to the next turn, and then you go out wide for the best entry. It's another purple sector there. I saw improvement, but I didn't quite see how much. I wasn't looking at the right part of the screen. Now this final sector, the most time can be gained on a qualifying lap in this sector for sure. And that looked very tidy. Stays in third gear, very close to an invalidation, but it was a nice line once again through the double left. You can stay flat through the penultimate corner. And final braking zone clips the inside curve. And it's a 23.7. 4/10 improvement from Electric Blade, well done.
Let's go.
Slayer missing the apex there onto this back straight. However, he is already up on his time. Hopefully that remains. Sits 5th at the moment. We'll be looking to improve to 4th. He's only 1/10 behind Cam Tizzle currently. There's yellow flags for a Mercedes, although I believe it's probably letting cars through. Dusty will have to emerge from the pits very soon if he wants to set a lap time, otherwise 19th will be where he starts. And Slayer is 1/10 up, 1 and a bit tenths up on his own previous best. Currently looks good enough for 4th, but he was a bit wide in the sweeper. Not the optimal line here either, it was a bit tight to the left-hander. Misses the apex of the second left-hander. 2 corners to go on this lap, also misses the apex on the penultimate corner. Last corner was quite nice though. Does he find improvement? Yes, but not enough to jump over Cam. Who should we be watching? Bursey perhaps will give the Haas some love. Oh, he looked for some slipstream there, but the traffic was so slow that I don't know if it cost him or gained him time. He does find a little bit of time in that middle sector, whether it was from the slipstream or not, hard to tell. Very solid orange helmet there from Bursey, looking good. Hard braking zone. 4th gear here, but very wide. Not sure if that will have helped him at all. Gets a good exit from the third last corner. No Jug finds a 23.0. Let's see if Dace can find the time to eclipse that. And there is improvement from Bursey. Goes 5th. Very impressive time there. Just in front of Cam Tizzle. Sharir in the meantime has gone 24.3 for 4th place. Flying under the radar. Good job by the league owner. Here comes Dace now. To the second last turn and now the last turn. Uses all the track and improves. Does he actually? I thought it said he improved. Maybe not. Starts a new lap actually. Okay, the timing was a bit weird there. My bad, he was starting a lap. Uses all of the track at turn 3. In fact, if he'd gone any further to the right, that would have been definitely invalid. 18 thousandths up on his previous time. Dace looking to find a lot more than that though in these next 2 sectors. Flaunting with the track limits there. He's really pushing. Probably knows that no one's going to beat him for second at this rate. And just knows.
He's putting a good lap here as well. Up to P3 he goes.
Absolutely, just in front of Electric Blade. Very close between the two of those guys. 4 drivers now in the 23s. Let's see what the sector split says for Dace at the 2/3 mark of the lap, and he's down by 4 thousandths. Needs to grab 4/10 in this last sector. Seems pretty unlikely to me, but if anyone can do it, it could be the Flying Fish. Third gear again.
That is theoretical.
Oh, there was a spun car there he had to avoid. It was an Alfa Romeo. Not,
Knuckles.
I think it was Knuckles. Yep, you're right. Last turn here for Dace. Do or die across the line. Probably going to improve, but yeah, 12 thousandths is not enough. And No Jug comes in and slaps in what looks to be a pole lap. I don't see anyone else still out there. Landsy at the last gasp, 23.5, puts himself third. So Ryan Rodds, despite having a qualifying ban, does not start dead last. Will start 18th out of 20. No Jug, very impressive. I've not seen a 23.0, I don't think. So that might be the best I've seen around this circuit. So No Jug, commanding pole position there. 3.5 tenths over championship contender Dace, who's seen a lot of P2 on the grid this season. But still, if it finishes as is, he will be champion. Second place could do it if Ryan scores very little points. But we know Ryan, he'll come through the field. It's Landsy in third, the Dutchman there with a last minute rise into the top three. Shelley with an impressive fourth place, and Electric Blade also in the top five. Kelly Robb at the last minute there jumped up to sixth, but he's over a second off pole, such as the pace of No Jug. Sharia seventh, Dusty. Didn't have many laps due to disconnection, but gets up to eighth. Countryman Bursey ninth, Cam Tizzle also in the top 10. Then it's Slayer, Scavney, Cynical, Red Eye, Knuckles, Army, and Peter with lap times. Ryan starting 18th with that qualifying ban. Nicky with a crash starting 19th. Sorry, did I say 18th or 19th for Ryan? 18th. Nicky 19th. And Texas Tornado 20th with a disqualification for blocking the pit lane, I believe it was.
Alright.
Well, while we wait, do we have a hot chocolate to review?
We do. It's the cookies and cream flavour this weekend, as you recall from last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's alright.
Ah, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, it's I do taste the cookies and cream. Well, the cookies more so than the cream, I suppose. However, it's pretty nice.
Very good. Well, my drink of choice at the moment is a lowly coconut water, so there is that. I can taste the coconut for sure.
Mm-hmm. Did you taste the water as well?
No, actually.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's weird. And why not? While we wait, I'll give a lunch review. I had flatbread with Vegemite and Gouda. And it was indeed Gouda.
What the hell, mate?
It is very Gouda.
Yeah, no, I had to check the first time. It wasn't funny.
Ah, give me crap. It wasn't a joke that I had the Gouda. I did have Gouda.
Stop.
What do you mean, stop? That was the type of cheese I had. It's not an alterable fact. That was the cheese. Oh dear. Will can't come and bear my jokes.
Okay, I'm actually
Mm-hmm. Please don't nuke my house. Debris will be everywhere. Alright, well, back on topic. We've got 5 seconds left in the countdown. The Abu Dhabi crowd is waving their hands there. I don't see a single one with the type of attire I would expect in that country. But anyway, we'll move on to the formation lap. the tyres are always an interesting thing to look at. And Poleman, debutant, no jug, is on hards. The white walled tyre, very good for a race that doesn't have a safety car intervention, but the risk involved in that is quite high, and I'm sure most of the field behind him realises that. Obviously not in the championship contention, no jug can do whatever he wants, and indeed the next 7 cars do not take that risk. They're all on mediums. Bursey and Cam Tizzle 9th and 10th on hards. On Holy Red Eye also on hards in 14th. Not a single soft tyre has been chosen here. I've tried it a couple of times at this track. If there's an early safety car, it's fantastic. If not, it's pretty bad come like lap 7 or 8. So reasonable choices by all these guys. And I expect those mediums can go upwards of 13 laps if they need to, and the hards can go probably about 20-22. So those will probably be the tyres we see them change to as well, depending on the timing of any safety car interventions. Peter and Ryan Rods, disqualified from the formation lap, will be able to take the start. They just won't have any tyre temperature whatsoever, probably due to a collision between the two of them. That's how the game functions. Alright, any final predictions here, Will? Both for the race win and for the, at least how close the championship is, if not the actual championship winner.
It's difficult to call. There's no jug. Rather makes a mess of it there.
That was amazing.
He's doing a 160 without being cool. It's there's so many quick people though in this lobby specifically. It's gonna be difficult for everyone to swap that.
Did you see Texas Tornado in the background?
It just didn't slow down. Just didn't turn.
It went to Narnia. Alright. It's not even lined up particularly well either. Anyway, here are the lights.
We go.
And the finale
and away we go.
is underway.
Nojo gets off to a better start than Dace, it would seem, as Lanzi can't make any grounds on
collision!
Run up to turn 1 and in fact
Electric Blade has run into Lanzi big time.
Electric Blade, yeah, it's rather chaotic. We've got quite a few cars all over the place.
Contact at the back. Ryan has spun Red Eye.
Ryan yeah, he's up to P13 now though. He's
on the grass. He's definitely made contact with the McLaren.
Make a move past Peter, but no, he got an illegal overtake for going past Ryan, it would seem, as Dace takes the lead from Nojo.
I don't know where to look. I think there's damage to certainly a few cars.
Scavney hopping above Dusty, doing the hokey cokey, and Scavney gets that move done down the inside, unless Dusty can hang it around the outside. A late braking move there by the Canadian, keeps his nose in for the next apex. Great battle here between these two drivers, as Cynical looks to get involved as well and perhaps make it 3 wide. Ball tucking up into the slipstream as to the inside goes Scavney, and he makes that move down the inside. Dusty trying to hold it around the outside, still going at it side by side, and I think Dusty has to see that position there. Lancy getting his way past Holy Red Eye as he begins his comeback.
Nicky spun.
This is Aston Martin span, no points awarded for guessing who that is.
Yeah, it's an easy corner to make a mistake at. Shelley moves past Electric Blade, who probably has damage.
Electric Blade has damage, yeah.
Yeah. He enters the pits, of course. He was the car that ran into the back of Lanzi, who's now in 16th place. Hopefully Lanzi doesn't have rear damage. Dusty also in the pits. Maybe he had damage too, which explains why it was so easy for Scavney to pass him.
Yeah, and Ryan up to P10 already.
Yeah, lots of cars in the pits. Tornado has to stack behind his teammate. The Haas's are both in the pits as well, Army and Bursey.
What is Nicky doing, man?
Doesn't have a lot
Every
of grip.
race, like, he's in the wall again, he's lost his entire front wing. At least Shelley's quick before he crashes. Anyway.
Let's have a look at the positions gained and lost. Slayer is up 6 places. That's impressive, up to 5th place for him. Not as many places gained as Ryan Rods though, up to 10th place, although I think there might be a penalty coming his way because he slammed into the back of Red Eye. 6th place is also gained for Peter. 5 for Nicky despite his constant spinning tumble dry mode. Down 10 for Electric Blade, down 11 for Bursey.
Yeah, and Days 2 and Multiple have a bit of a gap, though. That being said, No Jug has reeled him in a little bit this lap.
And No Jug is, of course, on harder tyres.
And, I'm not sure exactly what happened though.
So Ryan's lost the position here. Peter has overtaken him.
Yeah, cancels going into the pits. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there though, because... Oh god, there's some lag going on.
Some lag?
Yeah, Cynical is lagging all over the place.
Oh, really? No, on my screen.
Was anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh, okay, it does look a bit jittery. It does look a bit jittery.
A little bit. Yeah.
So Peter's making moves, it seems. Now he's up 9 places, the most of anyone. 2 in very quick succession. Great race for the Alfa Romeo man. Further pit stops. We also saw Cam Tizzle peeling off earlier in this lap, and Nicky joins him, having lost his front wing entirely, as Will noticed. Battle for 4th is heating up between 2 Honda-powered cars, and it looks like there's going to be a move here from Slayer down the inside of Sharia into the sweeping left. There's a tiny bit of contact. I've seen cars go around the outside here. One of my favourite moves to make at this newly reprofiled circuit, but he didn't need the outside there. Swooped into the inside and up to 4th.
Ryan getting his way past Cynical, and then Ryan loses it.
Again, same place as Nicky. Easy place. There's a bump there. There's a really nasty bump. So do you think there might be damage aboard this Ferrari? Maybe rear damage or something like that? Because you don't see Ryan making a ridiculous number of errors. Oh god, that was kind of awkward. Cynical there, I think he's going to be pitting. Where did he end up going? Yeah, he fits.
Yeah, he must have gotten some damage somehow, and then he speeds into the pit lane.
Actually, he's out of the race now. Down to 19 drivers.
Keep No Jug out of DRS range as well. He's got Cali Rob just behind him as well.
Actually, pretty impressive that Red Eye is back to right behind Ryan, having been spun out at turn 1 or 2. I think it was turn 2. Here comes a DRS move on Lanzi, possibly by Ryan Rods.
Yeah, that closing speed is immense when you get to the end of the straight.
Yeah, Lanzi braked early, possibly to set himself up for a better run onto this next DRS straight. It's of course not double DRS. Yep, 95% ERS as well for Lanzi. We may see him blasting back past. No, he's not using it, you're right. He's going to follow in behind Ryan for the moment.
I feel like he could have had that. He could have challenged that if he'd used the ERS, but decided not to.
Don't forget, Lanzi has been struck in the arse, so he may have damage.
Strucketh and shooketh.
That's a wide moment from Ryan. Could be a warning.
No Jug, which might help Dace if they squabble a little bit, as we see yellow flags there for a Mercedes.
Electric Blade, I think it is. Again, the same corner as Nicky and Ryan. That nasty bump. Battle for 4th, 5th and 6th now has been joined by Shelley. They have 5 seconds over Scavney at the moment, who's sort of by himself. Unfortunately for Shelley, Sharia will have DRS to defend as well as attack, and it was actually a great run of traction out of the previous turn from Sharia.
We might see Ryan getting past Peter here as well, Peter without any DRS to defend with.
That's a very early pull out of the slipstream. Someone's already taken out the braking markers into here. I don't know how people so often take out those braking markers. It's very strange. Anyway, Ryan doesn't make the move into the first DRS zone. He probably will make it here though. Peter does not look to defend. He's basically letting that happen. Knows that the pace of Ryan is imperious, shall we say, and Kelly Robbs had an issue just as he was putting pressure onto No Jug. Spins, loses a lot of time, and now Slayer is side by side. Battle of 4 cars now.
He's got damage as well as Cali Rob.
He won't be able to pit with a car on his inside, even if he wanted to.
He doesn't. Maybe that might have been the tyre temperatures, because Plus your attempts go up when you in. Shelley might not make to make the move on. Luckily Mobbit.
Always frustrating when a car recovers right in front of you and you're the only one that doesn't get through. That will be what Shelley's thinking at the moment. And the Ferrari here will get DRS, so it may actually be difficult for him to make that move even now.
Yeah, I mean, you want to think if Hollywood can get back up to speed again, you should be closer than these guys anyway, based on what we've seen so far in this race.
Look at the sparks pouring off the Red Bull of Sharir in 4th place. Must be running very low ride height there. You can also see that Sharir is a bit low on ERS, 14%, 13% now. Car in front similarly low. Meanwhile, Shelley has almost a full battery. I'd probably advise him to start using that, because the chance of a safety car with the number of cars having grip issues, quite high. You don't want the cars around you to just be given a free amount of battery while you've just saved it the whole time and never used it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking great for Reinrod's right at this moment. I mean, he's got Scavney pretty close in front of him, but he needs to overtake Shelley, I believe, if he wants to win this championship, and he's in that group that are going pretty quickly. But
wide moment for Kelly Robb, causes a bit of hesitation.
This might come down to whether Shelley can survive the race, because he doesn't tend to survive races, he likes to spin. And if he does spin, it might cost Ace the championship, his teammate, and I can't even imagine how Dace would react to that. Shelley already costing him the Constructors' Championship through inconsistent results.
Here comes Shelley attempting a move. The two teammates of the championship combatants going side by side into the braking zone. Shelley looks to have... oh no, the nose is still there on the Ferrari, but around the outside goes Shelley.
Nice, but of course,
well executed. Oh, had a bit of a wobble. And the DRS is in favour of the Ferrari.
With DRS.
Yeah, I think there's actually less downforce on Kelly Robb as well. But just looking at that, it seemed that he had better raw straight line speed. They have both fallen away from the DRS zone though.
Scavney runs wide, down the inside goes Reinrod's.
Oh, there's a tiny bit of contact.
They do make a little bit of contact.
Backing out of the move. Oh, that was off the track, I think, from Ryan. I'm not sure if that's a legal move.
It didn't look off the track to me. I might have been tripping.
I don't know, I was on board with the Alpine, so there was at least 3 wheels off. The front wheels are definitely off the track.
Holy Red Eye getting his way past Peter.
Wow, Kelly Robb has actually sucked up to the back of Sharir here, because he was 1.6 behind earlier, last lap, and now it's down to 0.8, so he will get the DRS, which is important in his fight with Shelley. Dace, meanwhile, has 2 seconds now over No Jug. The mediums won't be giving up yet, so you would expect that sort of trend, but No Jug's doing a fantastic job to hold on even that close, because when he affixes the mediums, he will be on fire, you would imagine.
Yeah, Scavney keep in touch with Reinrod's with using the DRS, but yeah, Reinrod's looks like he is going to pull away and drive off into the sunset now at this point, as Lansley actually gets his way past Scavney, so maybe Lansley with a bit of team orders there.
DRS move, to be fair, so I'm not sure there was much that could have been done. However, of course, Alpine drivers probably knowing who's faster at the point.
DRS as well, though.
True. So Ryan is now up 11 places. He's approaching that point of exactly what he needs to have done. Probably wants a 5-second margin on that though, just in case he does get a penalty for that lap 1 collision. What's happened to Dusty? Dusty was a bit higher than that before. Is he ghosted? Is he disconnected maybe?
I haven't seen anybody disconnect.
Okay, well the quality of the top 2 has seen them almost 10 seconds in front now of 3rd. So that's a testament to both Dace and No Jug there. Sharia still tracking down Slayer, but Slayer seems to have the straight line speed to maintain his position even with DRS opportunities to the Red Bull. Kelly Rubb and Shelley just as interested in this battle right behind. No movement recently though.
Pressure on Ryan Rods, who from the race director has 2 exceeding track limit warnings already. Ryan Rods.
Oh, that could be key. I think we've seen one of them actually. Wide at turn 1. Different lines by Lanzi and Ryan there through the sweeper. As Nicky negotiates Army for 17th, sorry.
Yeah, and Scabney dropped out of the DRS range of his teammate as well. Shelley just keep in touch with the back of Cali Rob with the DRS.
Yellow flag
as well.
Has red eye.
McLaren of Unholy Red Eye. Fortunately, he was not ahead of Ryan Rods, so it's not going to affect the championship picture.
Although it looks like a pit stop will be required for the McLaren. In he turns. Lap 10 you can definitely get to the end, although he's on hards already, so going to meet him is maybe a struggle for the last 19 laps. Yellow sidewalls are placed.
Lanzi, sorry, fallen a little bit away from Ryan Rods through the 3rd and 1st sector, but DRS is so powerful here. He can just pull himself back up to the rear of that Ferrari down the straights.
Calderon will be licking his lips seeing both cars in front of him flashing with the harvesting indication there. However, it seems like he's struggling to make a move, despite being clearly probably the 3rd quickest on track, maybe with the exception of Ryan. He just can't get past back into the position he had earlier in the race. When will any of these guys decide to pit, make an undercut? Probably going to be looking around 12, 13, maybe 14, but at that point you're approaching halfway. Do they think they're going to come out into traffic if they pit though? That's the question as well. Also reasonable to think that if you are losing grip, other drivers may also lose grip at this point in the stint, and would be prime time for a safety car deployment, in which case you want to stay out until that happens. But Kelly Robb now very interested in the back of Sharia, who pulls out of the slipstream himself, makes it very awkward for the Ferrari, and they're all bottled up here.
Hollywood Eye around as well at final corner again.
Here comes Shelley. He's not on the ERS button, but he's certainly very close to the rear of Kelly Robb. Looks to the outside, potentially can't make it work. Second McLaren retires in the pit lane this race. No points for the Papaya squad. Red Eye is done. Wide moment from Sharia might present an opportunity. Or, yep, really caught out Kelly. Unfortunately, no mistake of his own, and allows Shelley to go through, although he's still on the outside. Fantastic awareness from Shelley not to close him out. Into the pits comes Sharia, and great move by Kelly to... Oh, okay, there's the rear snapping on Shelley, and look who's joined the pack.
Close right in.
Ryan had been 4 seconds behind this battle, and now he's right there. Just a litany of mistakes in this pack, and they're all sort of getting in each other's way, tripping over one another. Talking of tripping over one another, there's the McLaren that retired in the pit lane coming out and getting in the way. Shelley was about 3 thousandths outside of DRS here, so I don't think his rear wing is going to open, which could mean he's going to be under threat from Ryan. Yeah, indeed, it stays shut. And that's jumped to Ryan.
He's going to be close enough to get involved here as well, though, I think. He looks to the inside. More in hope than expectation, I think, there, and nearly outbrakes himself, and nearly goes into the back of Ryan Rods there, does Lanzi.
Another snap of oversteer from Shelley, sorry. Seems like he got remarkably good traction for the angle he was at, though. Stays ahead.
Yeah, Lanzi, that mistake cost him a little bit as well, as he's dropped almost 7/10, now just over 7/10 behind Ryan Rhodes.
Now Sharia came out in clear air, and his teammate will be the next car that he approaches. So reasonable strategy there from the Red Bull man. We'll see if anyone else covers him off one lap later. And that is a remarkable, yes,
Yeah, and Ryan
3
Rhodes and Shelley
cars.
both in.
Yeah, not the only ones though. Slayer also from 3rd place, and oh my goodness, that was close to contact. Ryan almost smacking the rear of the Williams there.
And onto the hard tyres goes Ryan Rhodes.
I believe for all of them are hard tyres, right?
Shelley doing the same as does Slow-Rized.
Yep.
No jug back within the DRS range of Dace as well. Dace might be thinking about pitting this lap, possibly.
Where does Sharia fill in here? He had been in front of Shelley. He's going to be behind the trio of them, but will have some tyre temperature in comparison, certainly to those guys who just exited the pit lane. Ryan is currently in front. Does he have the tyre temperature to stay there though? There's not much ERS on board this Red Bull, let's put it that way. Sparks flying into Sharia's face, courtesy of Ryan's Ferrari.
He's going to send it.
No, I don't think he is.
Well, it's ever so slightly outbreaks himself, but not too much. And still gets a better exit than Sharia.
Dace now
The
pits.
line that he took.
He didn't have much of a lead. Let's note that No Jug had caught up
Yeah, he
quite
fell off
significantly.
that last lap. Sharia not with the ERS to actually capitalise on the cold tyres of Ryan Rhodes. Unfortunately, you've got to think if he had a full battery there, Sharia, he probably would have made a move as
Ooh,
Lanza fixed the
Lancy
5-second time
speed.
penalty speeding in the pit lane.
So it'll be interesting where Lanzi and Cully emerge here. They were, of course, involved in this battle as well. We've seen the overcut work so far.
This is the thing, any small penalty for anybody in the top 6 is going to have the possibility to swing that championship towards Ryan Rhodes. You never
True,
know,
but no,
something small like
Cam
that
Tizzle is holding up
could
this
make a
pack.
difference.
He is.
Shelley needs to get his way past, and here comes
Oh,
Lanzi rejoining just
Lanzi.
ahead of Ryan Rhodes, but of course with that penalty it was pretty smooth actually. He found the
He found the gap.
only little gap, and down the inside goes Ryan Rhodes. Opportunistic move there on Lanzi, who's going to be tucked up right behind the Ferrari, and for whatever reason doesn't bother using any ERS. He probably could have made a move to try and overtake Ryan Rhodes there, but
I don't know if he has the
decides not to,
traction
as
on
they go
cold
Shelley down the
tyres.
inside of Cam Tizzle. He looked to have a decent exit, and it's just Ryan Rhodes
Oh,
used
Ryan
all
looking for the
ERS.
move. Although he gets a bit balked.
Cam Tizzle
Lanzi almost had a move on
might
there.
have the DRS here, yeah, he does. Nicky around as well as per usual.
Oh, it's 3 wide. It's 3 wide.
Round the
Ryan makes
outside,
it work.
tries Cam Tizzle to hold it, and yeah, Ryan Rhodes
Oh, here comes
makes that
Sharia.
move as I-
Snags Lanzi's
Yeah,
position
but
as
this
well.
is the most important thing here, is that move could have won the championship there for Ryan Rhodes.
I agree. Nicky's lapped by his teammate. Into the pits for Cam Tizzle. Weird line from Lanzi, but gets away with it. So it seems that those people who pitted in the middle lap of that pit phase had the best strategy, because those who overcut them and those who undercut them both fell behind. So the pit lap, I think it was 13, was the best.
Yep, purple first sector there for Sheldon Turtleton.
Yep, he's got an opportunity here to pass Ryan due to the DRS.
Down the inside goes, thinks about it, and then doesn't quite send it, and has a little bit of
weird
issues on
line
the
as well.
brakes and doesn't get the exit that he needs, and completely bottles that opportunity.
So a shout out here to Slayer for maintaining his position ahead of this lot in 3rd place, doing a great job. Even if he doesn't keep it, it's been a fantastic first half of the race by the AlphaTauri man.
Cam Tizzle getting past Knuckles.
Pace there,
Fastest
the
lap of the
fast
race,
lap,
but
yeah.
it might not be enough for him, honestly.
Yeah, at this stage it does look like Ryan has the commanding position here in the standings at least. 4th place would be enough. And he's catching 3rd at quite a rate.
Callum pretty close to the back of Sharia Coleslaw as well. Just thinking, if you look on your leaderboard when you're racing, how many positions behind can you see? Just trying to think, Base will be able to see Ryan Rod's on his leaderboard, I'd imagine.
Yes, he will. You can see 2 positions behind you, but if you're in the top 2, you see the top 5. No Jug, the race leader, enters the pits. He'll go to mediums, which will be very quick in this last stint. Dace will have his hands full just trying to win the race, let alone win the championship. He does take the lead for now, but how big is that lead? That's the question. It's actually reasonable looking on the map. We'll see the exact time difference soon.
Pretty good lead there actually.
It's 4.7 as Lanzi now sets the fastest lap, so probably not carrying damage at this point.
Just needs to clear Slayer without tripping up here. He should be able to drive our way into the sunset.
Alright, it certainly looks like the next straight will be Ryan's attack point. He's got about 20% more battery than the AlphaTauri in front. And he's incredibly close. Better line. Oh, there goes Slayer. That allows 2 cars to get past Ryan though.
Yeah, that's down to 5th.
That is not what I expected to see. I'm pretty sure there was no contact, like lag-wise or anything. It didn't look that way. It just looked like too much throttle for Slayer. Very unfortunate way to give up 3rd place. Slides down to 9th now. Wide moment there from championship leader. Doesn't pick up a penalty despite there being 2 warnings already for him. Yellow flags as it seems it's Slayer again. Well, certainly an AlphaTauri having issues. It's Dusty actually, my bad. He's not the only one though. There's a Mercedes as well, also struggling, and that would be Texas Tornado. They're on different laps, so I'm not sure how that particularly worked, but trouble for both of them. Lanzi now looking to make a move for 3rd on Shelley. And Ryan's getting involved
as well here.
Same choice of words.
He makes a nice move around the outside actually there, Shelley.
Shelley's not content to stay there though, they both have DRS.
Corner, but yeah, both with DRS.
Can Shelley swoop around the outside like a magpie?
What?
Turtles don't swoop, so
Turtles don't swoop indeed.
Alright, they're still side by side.
Shelley continues to attempt to
Oh, that was incredibly close. And there is the fastest lap for No Jug, taking further bonus points away from both championship contenders.
Unfortunately, then gets a wobble on, and that means that Callirod can put Shelley under a lot of pressure here. He's going to lose sight of Ryan Rod's.
Oh, another wobble.
Tolian almost loses it again. He's trying so hard to do his textbook Shelley spin DNF.
I mean, he's not racing like a turtle, he's racing like a hare.
As Peter spins.
And Shelley has lost out to Sharia now. Had been third 1 lap ago.
Thursday coming into the pit lane as well.
Yeah, spent 17 laps so far on those mediums. So he was one of those guys that pit at the end of lap 1. We'll see what tyre he goes to now. Another set of mediums it is.
Moments has an opportunity to attack Lanzi here as well.
Oh, crash for electric blade.
That's electric blade off the track. That could
safety
be a
car is out.
A full course safety car.
Now the margins are going to be massively closed up because actually Dace had 9 seconds, so there must have been a mistake there for No Jug at some point. Dace's race lead will be slashed, but in terms of the championship, maybe he needed that. Maybe he did need something to throw up some chaos here because Ryan Rod's in 4th did have an opportunity to be close enough. And indeed, you're right, both race leaders enter the pits. It'll be a set of mediums for Dace. And for No Jug, what do we expect?
Well, as does Ryan Rods.
Saving the 5 seconds here will be...
Oh! Stacking and Ryan Rods picking up 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
That is a glitched pit lane. No, I was on board with him. He didn't do anything wrong, but that's the pit lane's known for giving you a warning there. I don't know if that'll be...
that'll be removed, I'm sure.
Removable or not.
Warning.
Okay, so who continues? Sharia continues. Takes 2nd place. Mediums for many of the other drivers. In fact, it looks like everyone's choosing mediums that has the opportunity to. Here comes Cam Tizzle. Will he be in front of Ryan? No.
Nope. But he'll be in between him and Lanzi.
Lanzi impressively only losing 2 positions really, with that 5-second penalty being cleared.
Yeah, Cam Tizzle's medium's only 5 laps old as well, so probably the right choice there for him to stay out.
Yeah, I would imagine so. There's a bit of a stack there for Alfa Romeo. Possibly Alpine too. I'm not sure exactly how close Lanzi and Scavney were, especially with Lanzi's penalty being cleared in that. However, we have a race on here. Previously Dace looked in commanding position. Whether he wanted to win the race or have an opportunity for the championship, it's difficult to say whether he wanted this safety car, but I think with Ryan having a 3-second currently, whether that's going to be overturned or not, it does lean into potentially taking him outside of that top 5-6, but there will be quite a few laps to change that. And what's happening here? No Jug lets a lapped car through, so the intention may be to have P2 and P1 also do that, allow that Haas to get back to the lead lap. We'll see if Sharia does the same. And there's been a spin on the safety car. That looks like it's for Knuckles.
P1 and 2 both letting Army Forever go past.
Indeed. Very nice of them to do so. The game does not say, you know, lap traffic may now overtake like they do in real life. So that's those drivers simulating that themselves by choosing to let him through. Always a nice thing to do for someone who's trapped a lap down. Nicky now pitting as well, was smart to stay out so that he could unlap himself. Now grabs those new tyres on the next lap around. Will be softs though for Nicky, which is they'll make it, and he may have an opportunity for fastest lap, but I'm not sure it's the quickest way to the end. He'll be lucky if he stays in front of Knuckles here. They're going to be right side by side. In fact, I think he will just stay in front here. Yeah, there it is. Aston Martin ahead of Alfa Romeo in 14th and 15th. So what do we expect here on the restart? Dace will certainly be pleased that he's got traffic between him and a car on the same strategy. Sharia, if he holds No Jug up even a little bit, there'll be an opportunity for Dace to extend his lead beyond the DRS zone, which will be his target, I assume. And we've got, what does Ryan Rods do? Does he go on the attack? I think he probably does have to. Cam Tizzle as well, in the middle of that battle on slightly older medium tyres. Will he be able to keep up? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, and you got to think that unless Ryan picks up another track limit warning, that one shouldn't stand.
Yeah, I didn't see any driver briefing notes about that pit lane entry. Sometimes you get that sort of thing when you have a peculiar pit lane entry, like Austria, for example. Texas Tornado chooses softs here. He's going to fall down a few positions as a result of pitting again. But yeah, it's one of those pit lanes that certainly has wonky track limit warnings applied to it. So only Mercedes-powered cars have retired so far. Both McLarens and one Mercedes. Still plenty in the race though, in fact one leads. Another one in third, probably net second. Electric Blade in the Discord is apologising to Lanzi for the lap 1 clash. Not surprised, that probably was on Blade. Guess he misjudged his braking. Fair enough, I guess. And safety car is due to enter the pits this lap and allow the race to resume with 7 remaining laps. We have a Haas still off the back of the field, but that's probably Army who was allowed to be unlapped, you know, part way through the safety car, so that makes sense. He may stand an outside chance of actually catching up here. Only driver that still remains a lap down is Dusty, but I'm not sure he's even still connected. He might be. Alright, Dace has the opportunity to go whenever he likes. And I think he has gone, indeed, catches Shuri a little bit out there. No Jug is on it though, and he's ready to make a move.
Yeah, a little bit annoying for Lanzi though that Cam Tizzle's going to be in between him and Ryan Rods as Nicky does the Nicky special.
Here comes No Jug, he's looking for that move.
And Sharia Coleslaw.
Knuckles has had issues.
Right on the outside. Goes No Jug, Sharia trying to hold it down the inside, Ryan Rods just behind. Then of course no DRS just yet, and No Jug manages to take that position, but Sharia Coleslaw is tucked away up behind in the slipstream. Could be looking to make a move. Nope, not quite yet. As here goes Ryan Rods trying to maybe look around the outside
to the rear.
And decides to turn it into a switchback.
Look at the lead though, Dace already 2 seconds clear. That'll be very helpful for him in avoiding a DRS battle. Does Ryan chuck a move down the inside? Yes he does, it's a really late move.
Insane dive bomb.
I'm not sure that I would have taken that risk, but it pays off. And that's a key moment in the championship right there. Alright, well let's look further back, maybe the battle of the Red Bulls, indeed Alpines as well. As wide moment there from, yep, that's a collision. Lanzi's been caught out by the spin there for Cam Tizzle, and Lanzi's lost a significant number of places as a result. Really unfortunate for the Dutchman there. So Shelley now takes 5th place. Texas Tornado's done well on his softs, already up to 10th place. Closest battles are all like 5/10 roughly. Knuckles retires in the pit lane, that won't be a safety car. Army appears to be quite close to Nicky, they're going side by side. I should probably change to that. Nicky with a later braking point. Does he get it stopped? Indeed he does. Good job there. Well, the Aston Martin. Scavney is one of the closest drivers to the car in front. Now it's all ebbing and flowing. 2 tenths in fact here between 4th and 5th. Shelley applying the blowtorch to the rear of Sharia. Caleb also pressuring Slayer there as DRS is now enabled. I think Shelley will be close enough here. He's got the DRS as well to help him. He's got much better tyre condition than the car in front. Takes a slightly strange line there, but it should be fine as we see Nicky again struggling in turn 2/3. Here comes Shelley. He's got plenty more battery than Sharia, although Sharia does try to hold it around the right hand side and will indeed maintain the position at least for now. Shelley has to sort of back off there as he was pretty much blocked completely. And now he'll blast past, I assume. No worries whatsoever.
Slayer following through here.
Oh, it's
Slayer
3
going
wide in
to
fact.
try and make a move around the outside. Sharia can try and come back at Shelley here. Only just avoid.
Scavney and Landsey going side by side in their pair of Alpines as Dace gets a 3-second time penalty. He's he's pretty much 3 seconds in front as well.
2.9.
Could be a key moment there.
Yeah, I mean, I think this, I think the championship's over anyway, honestly. Dace is
Oh, collision! There goes Sharia into a spin. He's been collected by Slayer. And Slayer gets 10 seconds.
With a 10-second time penalty. Damn.
Yeah, he's definitely ran to the back of Sharia there. I think he did at least. Helps both Alpines. Texas Tornado has incredibly found himself in 6th place here. And this wouldn't be the first time that Dace has had a 3-second penalty and a late safety car remove his opportunity to win at this track, this game. And he will be hoping that Deja Vu does not strike and he can extend that gap to what it is currently, and that's over 3 seconds. And now it goes beneath. The gap ebbing and flowing, and it's very exciting to see a sort of a time trial battle here rather than an on-track battle. As Shelley flirts with disaster there at the sweeper exit, gets on the curb, and the rear did not look impressed with his line choice. Now it's 2.7, the gap reducing further, and No Jug, the poleman, and I think also has the fastest lap, is looking to really remove any possibility of a Dace win here. Actually, Dace has the fastest lap, my apologies. Landsey now with another penalty. He had a 5-second one earlier which he cleared, but he can't clear a 3-second. In fact, he pits, so that may have been the same thing that happened to Ryan. Entering the pit lane can be a warning. Now why would he pit? A new front wing or maybe a fastest lap attempt here? That will not help Dace. Once again, bonus point would go away from him. Shelley loses the rear. Calirob may have an opportunity in one of these DRS zones.
Yeah, Cameron not getting a great run through the chicane now, once you're off a little bit, it ruins it all, and then messes up the exit.
Alright, well, No Jug does seem to have the best pace of the top 3 currently. He's closing in on the car in front, extending the gap to the car behind. Shelley puts an extreme amount of stress through his right rear there. Does well to hold onto the car. Now, importantly, there's 6.6 seconds between Ryan and Shelley. Now, if there aren't any penalties applied to that Ryan car, he's not going to fall particularly far, especially with Texas Tornado having a penalty himself. Oh, there goes Shelley, and that's Wall. That any hopes of a Dace championship probably gone with that, actually. Let's see how the turtle is extricating himself from the barriers. Still turning around. He's going to fall to at least 12th place, possibly further. In fact, here comes Nicky. Landsy on a charge here, sitting 14th. Not where you expect to see the Dutchman. Sharia as well entering the pits for another new front wing on the number 69. Grabs a set of softs. Dace now only 2.4 ahead with the 3-second penalty. It looks like his worst hopes have been realised. He'll close a couple of points on Ryan, but certainly not the 20 he required.
No, so nothing short of a last lap crash from Ryan Rodds. It's going to change the outcome of this championship, I don't think.
I think you're right. Well, there's only 2 sectors left of this championship. Coleslaw Cup Season 2 coming towards its conclusion. Scabney, by the way, passes Texas Tornado there for 5th place. Landsy grabs the fastest lap. In fact, Dace now. Is No Jug letting this happen? Dace has found a second.
Slow Rise overtaking Bursey as well. Pretty easy DRS pass for P7. Bursey might come back at him though.
Yeah, all of a sudden, No Jug loses some pace. Dace is going to win the race. It'll be his 4th win of the season, 2nd in a row. Here's the last turn of the championship for him, and in fact, Texas gets back past Scavney. Winner is Dace. No Jug's going to finish 2nd here. Spins across the line. Pole to 2nd. Great debut race for him. Ryan crosses in 3rd. Cali Rob, his teammate, will be 4th. Texas Tornado's going to cross right in front of Scavney, but with a penalty will fall behind Scavney, who grabs the top 5 to end his season. Slayer crosses the line. Falls back though. Cam and Bursey jump in front of him. Looks like it's going to be a top 9 there for Peter, who had less penalty than Slayer. Army, who was a lap down during the safety car, does well to come back to 11th. Nicky is reversing, like his teammate had issues around the last turn, although that one costs him. Landsy grabbed that position right at the death. Shelley had been running so well, loses a wheel to cross the line as well in 14th. Sharia, who restarted 7 laps to go in 2nd place, is going to be 15th. Dusty's already crossed the line a lap down, I believe disconnected at some point. And we're going to have 4 non-finishes.
Yeah, I think he's been disconnected for quite a while.
And look at that responsible AI. Brakes immediately after crossing the line. And they just makes a little bit of contact with the Williams on Sharia's Red Bull there. Texas Tornado picks up the in-game driver today, and I'm assuming will be... No, he had a disqualification in qualifying. So driver of the day point up in the air currently. It won't be Ryan either because he had a qualifying ban. Well, that is a race win for Dace. A great way to end the season with a brace of victories, closing up the standings margin. But I believe the final gap will be 12 points? No. Give me a second. Point structure. It'll have closed in 12 right there from what was 19, so off 7 points. If only he had a stronger opening 6 rounds, he would have been in possibly a better position there. No Jug with pole and second place on debut is a fantastic effort. And I think the driver of the day bonus is going to go to Peter? 17th to 9th maybe? That does seem the strongest of the top 17 who are the only ones eligible. Podium to clinch the championship there for Ryan in a bit of a brown pants moment in these past few weeks. He shouldn't have been that close, but he does seem to be champion. Kelly Robb there in the second Ferrari. 4th place, Scavney in 5th, and his season Texas Tornado with a great drive to 6th place. Cantizel, Bursey, Peter and Slayer all in the top 10. Army, Lanzi, Nicky, Shelley, Sharia, Dusty with kind of disappointing races there. Knuckles, Electric Blade, Red Eye and Cynical, DNF unfortunately.
So yeah, Raymond's champion.
Yeah, 6-point margin over Dace, as pointed out very helpfully by Bacon, who confirms the math. Should probably have had a look at the margins though, because if there's any penalties, but I think there was quite decent margins
I think
involved.
He was pretty far ahead there, yeah, I don't think there.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to need to... I assume you added the 3 drivers in the podium?
Yep.
Thank you. So, in a few moments here we're going to have a chat with Dace, No Jug and Ryan. 2 reasons to chat with Ryan, of course. Interviews. Oh, No Jug's not even in the server.
Okay, I'm gonna hop out.
Alright, thank you to Will for joining me this season in the commentary box. See you next time, Will.
See ya.
Alright, stream may go black for a couple of seconds here, everybody. Or maybe blue, I don't know. Need to check that these guys have got their interview invites. Alright, I think we have Dace in here. Dace, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, well we'll kick things off immediately in that case with the race winner, as we have a few more people joining as well. Also, I'm not sure if No Jug knows that there's an interview, so if anyone has him added, please let him know, because he's not in the Discord.
I'll invite him.
I think he has an invite, but he just needs to be told. I don't know if he knows why he was invited.
He has an invite then.
Okay. Alright, well we'll start with the race winner. In fact, it was a brace of victories in these last 2 rounds for Dace to make the championship certainly a lot closer than some of us anticipated. So Dace, take us through that race. Of course, there was a big lead at one point for you, and a safety car, also a penalty scare at one point. So how did that roller coaster of emotions sort of drag you through?
I knew it was gonna be. I was gonna need a lot of things to fall into place. The first lap, I couldn't have been better. I mean, he got underbody damage, and I thought, you know, hey, there might be a shot, but once the safety car came out, he was just too quick. So, once that came out, I knew it was kind of over.
So we're talking about Ryan in that case, right? With the underbody damage? Okay. So what about just the race win in separate to the championship? Because it looked like at one stage, or certainly very late, that No Jug had you covered there with a penalty to you.
Yeah, I mean, get it in the bin. I don't really care about the win, honestly. I just wanted, you know, I knew I needed 2 things to happen, and I was doing my best to take care of one of them, so the other one just didn't fall into place.
Fair enough. And it looks like there was a 6-point margin at the end of this. Do you have any races you look back on throughout the season and think, damn, there was, 6 points or 7 points right there that you kind of regret?
There's a couple. Imola in specific, I think lost me a podium. So yeah, that's probably one that could have been better, but there's nothing I can do about that one.
Fair enough, Dace. Well, it's been a pleasure to watch you race this season. 4 wins and an incredible podium streak to end the season as well, making it very exciting for everyone to watch. Do you have any final words about the season and perhaps going into next season?
No. I miss racing Ryan next year. If I could put a whole season together, not just 3/4 of one like I did this time, probably would have been a pretty interesting fight. I enjoyed it, so that's about it.
All right. Well, congratulations on your win, Dace.
GG's, guys.
Moving on to second place, debutant in the Coleslaw Cup. It's No Jug. No Jug, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up?
All right. Well, it was an incredible pole lap. A 23.0 was quite the margin you had back to second place. So you must have been very comfortable with the track. So how was that session for you?
Absolutely horrible. This is my worst track on the game. Not even lying. Yeah. It was loose. I think that's the best way I can describe it. It was a loose lap. I'm happy with the time. Obviously, it was a good time, but yeah, the track for me is a hard one to get to grips with, and it's just mostly based on how the car feels. I just can't really get the setup right for the track, but yeah, nonetheless, I was happy with the lap. So.
Wow. Well, if this is one of your weaker tracks, it'll be quite something to watch you if you return next season. Is that going to be in your plans, coming back to Coleslaw Cup?
I mean, if there's a spot, yeah, I think it'd be cool to come back next season. Have to talk to the higher ups, see what's going on, but yeah.
All right. And how about the race? You one of the very few drivers to choose hards to start, and that presented you with an opportunity to come onto the mediums at the second part of the race. Do you regret that at all, or was that the right decision from your perspective?
Honestly, I did a little bit of practice beforehand, and I realized the mediums were overheating a lot on the first stint, so I thought maybe I would go with the hards, not overheat as much, and then with the lighter car at the end, it might be a little easier on the medium tires, which it was, so it ended up working out okay, but that was the main reason, just I didn't want the mediums to overheat on the first stint.
I see, fair enough. And on that final push to the line, you had a safety car, which was possibly quite helpful because there was a bit of a margin between first and second before it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But then you had Sharia to overtake, and it allowed Dace to sort of escape a little bit. Then you grabbed the penalty, so you were within that at a certain stage. So what happened in that phase? Did you have any issues on that final lap? I don't know exactly what happened.
The race engineer called me, said the car was down on power, unfortunately, so
Ooh.
just lost a little bit of time to Dace there.
Well, if you exhibit that sort of pace next season, should you be coming back, I'm sure you'll be winning some races. So exciting to see you up there, and well done.
Thank you.
Alright, now we move to third place this race, and your new driver's champion is Ryan Rods. Welcome, Ryan.
Yo!
Wow, well, that was quite a race from watching you come up through the grid. Of course, the qualifying ban saw you start in 18th place, and there was a bit of tripping over other cars on lap 1. However, you managed to get a podium out of it, so that was an incredible gain of 15 places. So, what was some of the things you saw as you came up through the field?
Well, I don't know. I was just lapping pretty consistently and pretty quick. I had a few moments in like lap 2 or 3, almost lost it, but everything else was fine. Like I had a little bit of floor damage, which maybe like limited my sector 3 pace, but it was pretty okay. Like just drive to the end.
Wow, impressive to have that sort of pace with the floor damage. So, what caused the floor damage, if you don't mind me asking?
It was like the lap wouldn't just like mess turn 1.
Ah, okay.
And I don't know if it was a McLaren or what, but I don't know, just contact. It wasn't that much like floor damage. It was like light green.
Ah. And then
It was
when the
drivable.
oh, sorry. Did you
Yeah,
have
it
anything?
was pretty drivable.
Okay. And then a safety car came out with 7 to 9 laps to go roughly, and everyone sort of piled into the pits. You had a penalty at that point though, so was there any sort of thinking, oh good God, hopefully I can get away, or was that always comfortable for you?
No, the penalty was like not deserved. I
It
had
was
2
the pit lane
warnings,
one, right?
and yeah, the pit lane. My 3rd warning was a pit lane.
Ah, okay, so you're confident you could get that removed if you needed to.
Yeah, I already made the report just because why not?
Ah, okay. Alright, and championship-wise, you must be very pleased, of course. Not only has Ferrari won the Constructors' Championship last week, but now you are the Drivers' Champion by 6 points.
Woo!
So a big congratulations and round of applause from the commentary box. And how does that make you feel?
Good. It's just good.
Of course, you probably anticipated it with the sort of the points margin you had in the past few rounds, but it got a bit closer than it needed to be. So,
Yeah.
any comments on that?
Yeah, just not driving at my best last few weeks, but it was enough.
Alright, well you heard it there. He feels good, everyone. It's your new Drivers' Champion of the Coleslaw Cup. Ryan Rods for Ferrari. Once again, a big congratulations. Will had to leave early, but congratulations were sent by him as well. And from myself, Jacko, to everyone watching, it's been a great season to spectate and commentate on. But that's the end of Season 2 of the Coleslaw Cup. And hope everyone enjoyed. I've been Jacko. See you whenever Season 3 occurs, which I believe is mid-March. So, goodbye for now.